If you want to make a green bean casserole without using canned soup, today's recipe is for you. We're making the best vegan green bean casserole featuring a creamy white bean sauce and an easy crunchy topping. It tastes just as delicious as the original, and I'm going to show you some shortcuts to make it as easy as possible. To get started, preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. For this recipe, you'll need to chop 1 yellow onion, and you'll also need 1 pound of trimmed green beans. I'm using a shortcut today by starting with frozen ones because they are already washed and perfectly cut into small pieces for you, and they tend to be super affordable too. Add a tablespoon of olive oil to a large skillet over medium-high heat and saute the onion until it starts to soften, about 5 minutes. Add in the fresh or frozen green beans, and there's no need to thaw those first, and a half teaspoon of salt. Cover the pan and let the vegetables cook until they are tender, about 8 to 10 minutes. The green beans don't usually become much more tender when you bake them later, so make sure they are as soft as you want them to be for this casserole. While the vegetables are cooking, we can prepare the sauce and the topping using the same blender. I'm going to start with the topping first while the blender is dry. For this, I'm adding in 3/4 cup of raw walnuts, or you can also use pecans, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Process this briefly just until the nuts are coarsely chopped so they still have some crunch. Set this mixture aside, and then it's time to make the sauce. You'll need 1 15-ounce can of white beans for this recipe, and make sure to rinse and drain them well. Add those to the blender along with a 1/2 cup of water, 1 clove of garlic, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of freshly minced rosemary, a 1/4 teaspoon of ground black pepper, and 1 teaspoon of lemon juice. Blend that together until it's very smooth. You can add more water as needed to help thin out the sauce if you need to. You want this sauce to be pourable. When the green beans are tender, add in the sauce and stir well. If you are using an oven-safe skillet, you can bake this casserole directly in that, or you can transfer this into an oven-safe casserole dish. Sprinkle on the crushed walnut topping, then bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 30 minutes, or until the vegetables are piping hot and the topping is lightly golden. Allow the casserole to cool for 10 to 15 minutes, then serve warm. If you'd like to make this green bean casserole ahead of time, you can prepare the veggies and make the sauce and store them together in the fridge for up to 3 days in advance. When you're ready to cook it, transfer the mixture to an oven-safe dish and sprinkle on the crushed walnut topping. Then bake at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 35 to 45 minutes until the center is heated through, and then you can serve it warm. I hope you'll enjoy this healthy green bean casserole soon, and be sure to check out my other videos here for more fast and easy real food recipes.